Gonna- Yeah, you're going to have to say yes to that. So here we are looking at the Florida Conference.com/red zone, and this is the registration details. We are currently in the early bird that started March 11 and it will close April 1. This is your best chance to get into red zone for $10 per person. So we encourage you to get registered, as many people as you can, by April 1. There will be a day gap, April 1, 1 p.m. to April 2, 2 p.m. That's one 24-hour period, one day where YMMS registration for red zone will be closed. If you miss the April 1, 1 p.m. deadline, wait for April 2 at 1 p.m. and you can start registering. The price will go up to $14. So we just want you to be aware of that. Once we get to May 6, 1 p.m., registration will close. The regular registration will be done. And then we're going to walk through some other things that we want to make sure everyone knows for red zone registration. So the SV deadline, all adults by April 29 should have completed their SV background check requirements to be eligible to register. If you wait until after April 29, it's like playing Russian roulette. You may get through, you may get lucky, but chances are, from what we've seen in the past, it will take longer than that to get yourself processed. So all adults, all Pathfinders 18 years or older, please make sure they're done by April 29. We do get a digital imprint. So we see when you start your SV training, when you complete your SV training, we can see all of that. So if you finished everything, you finished the online training, you submitted all your information to start your background check, you do that by April 29, we'll work with you. Starting after this date means you may not be eligible in time to be cleared for the event. If you try it and you're not cleared by the deadline, you won't be able to register. So that is a hard deadline, and that's something that all adults must be eligible in SV and cleared in YMMS to register. So that's something we want everyone to know. Complete everything you need to do for adults, training, submitting the background information by April 29, so you don't get left out of red zone and you can be eligible. We are changing something in terms of swaps. Swaps is where someone that you've registered that's changed their mind or can't attend can be swapped for somebody else who now can register or can attend. This will be open from May 7 to May 20, so that's 2 weeks almost. And this is where we'll let you swap. So there's no fee to swap. As long as that registered person that you want to add is already in your club roster, and as long as the adults are already cleared in YMMS by that May 6 deadline. So if you've completed everything by April 29, everybody's cleared by May 6, between May 7 and May 20, you can swap, you can switch. And that's something that's done at no cost to you. There's no fee for that. That's something each club director or secretary can do. If you call the office, we'll walk you through the steps of how to do it. But that's not something the office needs to do. That's something each person can do, each club can do through YMMS. The key is to be able to swap, adults have to already be cleared in YMMS. Swaps will close on Monday, May 20 at 1 p.m. And after this, no more swapping. So if something happens after that, you can't swap. Those swaps are done again by the director and the secretary. New to Red Zone this year is this next part. There will be a late online registration. So let's say you missed the May 6th deadline and you say, now all of a sudden 2 kids told me they can come. Well, they'll be able to do a late online registration, but you'll notice there'll be a late fee. The fee has gone up. So the registration would now move to $34 per person. That's the $14 regular rate and a $20 late fee. So our suggestion to you, register by May 6th, or even better, register by April 1 and get in for $10. But we have had consistently people wanting to register late and begging and pleading and saying, can I? And this happened, that happened. So we said, okay, it's something that it seems like is a need for some people, so we'll make an opportunity. Once we get to May 21, you can start printing out your tickets. Because swaps don't close until Monday, May 20, we ask that clubs don't print out tickets until Tuesday, 6 p.m., May 21. And that's just to make sure that we get all the registration finalized and locked in, and then your tickets are accurate, because your tickets, when you arrive, have to be correct. The name of the person coming and the name of the person on the ticket, that has to match. Here's another new thing for this year Red Zone. We haven't been doing this. This is on-site registration. So this is if for some reason you missed the deadline, somebody still wants to attend, there'll be a late on-site registration, and you can see the price has gone up significantly. So this isn't something we're saying we hope you do it. In fact, we hope nobody does it. But if you have to, and you really feel like that person needs to be there, there'll be a regular rate plus a late fee, and that's the late on-site registration. Now, please remember, this will be a separate line, and adults must be background checked and cleared in YMMS before the May 6th deadline, even to register on site. So please don't think, well, they didn't clear, I'll just bring them on site. If they didn't clear by that May 6th, they won't be allowed to stay. So please understand that all adults must be cleared by the May 6th deadline to register, even if you bring them late on site. And here's another little note here on the bottom. If a young person or an adult does not have a ticket that matches their name, you'll have a choice. You can either send that person home, or you can purchase the on-site late registration ticket. We want you to make sure ticket names and ticket names match. The person who has the ticket and the name matches. So those are some big strokes that we wanted to have a chance to walk through and talk through. And the simple reason is we want everybody to have a chance to know what to expect for Red Zone. So at this point, I'm sure that's given some people some things to think about. I'm going to open it up for a few minutes to see if there are any questions just about that part of the registration.
I have a question, Pastor Perez.
Yes, please.
Yes, so I have registered myself as director and all the adventurers and a couple of parents who are background checked and cleared and stuff. Okay. So there are a couple of parents who did their background check. Right. And in YMMS it says pending. So so I can't register them yet until. Correct. Okay, so suppose now that pending changes past, let me see, past April 1st. I'll have to then register them at the $14 rate.
This is a great question. So yes, since you've already done all this, there are several reasons, and I think Leah could best speak to this, of why someone would be marked pending. Yeah. Usually there are some issues that we've seen, and some of those issues you can correct or you can look into on your end. But Leah, can you talk to that for a little bit? What should somebody do if they see someone pending in YMMS?
So the first question, when the parent told you they completed their background check, did you already check the date that they told you, or they send you a screenshot with the date and you fixed it in YMMS on their profile?
Yes.
Okay, so I had a bunch of cases last week with the same problem. The first thing, the name was not matching the Sterling. For example, the person had a first and last name in YMMS, but in Sterling it had first name, last name, and middle name or initial. The Sterling date did not match the YMMS. The person would say, oh, I completed it on this day, but it doesn't mean that they were eligible on that day. It doesn't mean that they clear on that day. And some people would say, I finished it, this is the date, but they only finished the online training. So if you have access to Sterling to check all three, that's great. If not, they can send you a screenshot and you can compare. If the name, the Sterling date of birth, everything is matching, then I will be the one who manually will go and see what's wrong. So if it doesn't work, you just send me an email with those names and I'll go ahead and I check for you. So you can still pay $10 for them.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and that's a great question because that's a very common question. And part of what we've learned is that this can be avoided if you have your Sterling level 2 administrator, someone in your club. And then you can actually go into Sterling. You can see the date when they complete their background. You can see their birth date. You can see all the data you need to put into Sterling, and you can double check it. So here's something that I would recommend to every leader on the call tonight. If you have a level 2 administrator, have them work with you to make sure all the adults have the accurate information that they put into Sterling and Sterling has for them, that that's what they gave to you. If you don't have level 2 administrator access, one of the things you can do is make sure that the adults who want to register, that they all have their screenshot of their Sterling account. So you're actually taking their data from their report and you're entering it in. Most of the time, those are the issues that if there was better accurate information to put in, most of those things would go through. But it does take some time. The fact that it's the 17th and you're working on this and trying to get done, if it hasn't cleared and you have checked your level 2 and verified the information, you have checked with your parents or adults and had them screenshot and send you that, and you compared it. If you've done everything you can and there's still an issue, then yes, that's where Leah can help you walk through some things. All right, let's jump over. I think I see Heike. Is your hand up?
Yes, I have a question.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. Oh, okay. So yes, I have a couple of questions actually. I sent an email earlier today. I'm not sure if you guys saw it.
Yeah.
I have some people that are cleared in Sterling, but they're showing ineligible for registering.
I saw the email, and I'm gonna give you an answer by the end of this call. But what I already see is some of the kids that says 0 to 3, it says they're 4 years old. So that may be an issue for at least 4 of the people. It says sibling 0 to 3, but next to it, it says 4 years old. Then it has a kid 4 to 9, but the kid is 10. So their role was not changed for them, and they're not eligible. So I'm going to go through that list, and by the end, you will have an answer.
Okay. And well, one of them is Justin. He's 18. Well, he's above 18. He's in college, but he is Sterling verified through the 2025. And for whatever reason, he's not clearing either. So yeah, that was just a couple of them. And then another question I have is I have somebody that's turning 18 on April 26th. So, and they're going to be performing with drums. So how are we going to get them cleared in time?
By the time of the event, the person will be expired, it would not let you register unless you re-enroll. You can call the Sterling, they can call the Sterling and ask to assign the module, or I can go ahead and help you with it. Assign the module, the person will retake it, and they will renew it before it's actually a deadline.
Well, they've never done it because they're just now turning 18. So they would not have done a Sterling at all.
Okay, I'm going to check right now.
Okay.
So thank you for the email. We did see that, but today wasn't a full work day for us, so we'll get on that. But I know you're working on it, so you wanted to send it. So thank you for that. I do want to highlight again, this is part of the challenge, that if there are things that don't match, right? If you say I'm registering a 0 to 3-year-old, but they're 4. If you say I'm registering a 4 to 9-year-old, but they're 10, those are the details that could make it feel like, oh, wait, hey, something's not working. Well, what's working is all the data doesn't match up. So being very specific with the data will help in most cases. And then there are other cases where you've done everything matches, there's no issue there, but there's something else, and that's where Leah can help you to dig in and research it and find out. All right?
Yeah, I think it would just be any way that the system can update it automatically to the next level. That
I was going to ask that, Pedro. Why do we need to look ahead as to, okay, how old are they going to be at Gillette? Or why does the system not recognize that?
It will recognize it. That's why it doesn't let it register.
There were 2 different questions. What I heard the first one from Karen was, why doesn't the system automatically update like the grade level? Is that what the question was first, Karen?
Cheryl, yes, correct.
No, so I heard Karen before I heard Cheryl?
Heike, there was Heike.
I thought it was Karen.
No, I haven't asked my question yet.
Oh, sorry. Okay. I saw your box highlight, and so I thought you're the one asking.
No.
So Cheryl, there are some things that the system does keep up to date with, like they always track what the age of the person is. I don't think the issue was that the system's not updating. I think for the system to say that if you were in Friend last year and now you're automatically the next class level, that's something that the system's not going to assume. That's something you have to manually change a role for them to move forward. So that's a little different question. In terms of the registration, I'm glad you're starting early because sometimes there are some issues that we have to work out. And I know there are some that have some very specific issues, and we'll try to hit something tonight, but some of that's more offline. It's a one club thing. So Cheryl and Heike, Leah will work on that and help you get through those things for the specific questions that you have.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Is Justin Wu has a middle name that is Michael?
Yes.
So that would be an issue. In Sterling, he's listed as Justin Michael Wu, and in YMMS, he's just Justin Wu. And it's approved, but it will not be until we fix the issue. This, I don't know how, when it was approved, but we need to fix his name. So for the next time, it will not go through.
Okay, because he went to Red Zone last year, and we haven't updated to Sterling because he was eligible for the last 2 years already.
He's still good. His date is 4/28/2022, so we still can register him. I will just have to adjust the name.
Okay.
So Heike, could you even jump in to the account? I don't know where you are or what you're into, but if possible, jump in, make the change, resubmit it, and see if that does clear him. I
And
think that's
also,
worth
I'm
trying.
sorry, and also he is a junior counselor. When you will need to change his role maybe to counselor. Let me find this. I'm gonna send an email. Sorry, I'm not gonna interrupt that meeting.
Okay, just really quick. He prefers to stay as a junior counselor because of the duties and he's in school. He does not want to be a full counselor yet.
Okay, let me see if it's gonna work.
Yeah, but there may be some restrictions on that. So Leah will look into that and help you on that specific case. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate you helping out with that. I'll take one more question and then we're going to jump over to Red Zone Lodging. What's Karen?
This is Karen. I was about to register and I noticed that it was saying PayPal. Is PayPal the only way you can register?
Yeah, the system of PayPal is the system that's used, but you may use a credit card without a PayPal account. I think that was part of what was in the chat room also. That question came up.
That was me.
Yeah.
That was me.
Okay.
And so how do I do that? Because I noticed it just said PayPal. Will it allow me to use a credit card? It will give me the option of using a credit card?
Correct. That's what we are saying.
Okay. Thank you. I didn't go all the way in. That's why.
Yeah. And part of what we did is created 2 practice events to try to help clubs do that. So there was a practice YMMS registration at the beginning of the club year. There was another one in January. And the one in January, we actually required a payment. So directors and secretaries, as part of your Club of the Year points, could actually get practice with doing a registration that had a payment so that PayPal and the credit card or debit card that you use is something that feels more comfortable to you because you've already practiced it at a small event.
Okay.
So thank you for the question. Okay, I'm going to shift us over to a very important deadline for many people. And there's Stacy. Hi, Stacy. Thanks for coming. Stacy is from Camp Kalakwa, and she's the one that you will work with to get all set up for the 28th of March. And the 28th of March is a Thursday. Housing will open up at 1 p.m. And Camp Kalakwa has all the housing and all the registration and all that stuff. They've been working on it. We've been working with them to get that all lined up. And we want you to be ready to have that experience. So I'm going to go back to I'm going to let Stacy say hi. And then while she's doing that, I'll get the paper set up so you can see where it is and know where all the information is online. And you can go through that all on the website. Again, that's at the Red Zone, floridaconference.com/redzone. And I'll show it to you here in a moment. But let's have Stacy say hi to everyone.
Hi.
Hi, everybody. How is everyone tonight?
All righty.
Good. I believe I've talked to some of you already and hopefully answered some questions, but hopefully going through this together will alleviate some worry and get everyone ready for, oh my goodness, a week and a half, and we will be together registering. So, oh yay, there's the page.
So if you do go to the website and click at, again, floridaconference.com/redzone, we put that in the chat room, and you click on the more details, all of the steps and all of the details of what you need are right here. The registration info and steps, there's an instructional video, there's day of registration information, like what do you need to be ready for on the day of registration. And then this one's not so pressing. This is the meal ticket registration. But I'm going to open up one of these documents, the first one, registration info and steps for housing, and just let Stacy walk us through some of the highlights to make sure that you understand. Again, this is all already on the website. It's all there for you. She's going to walk us through it, and then we'll open up for some questions.
Yeah, so basically that document has a lot of information. I know it looks overwhelming, but it's truly just some simple steps that if you read through and make sure you're ready, or get ready. If you have an account, there is an existing account tab, but if you do not, or you're a new director, I know you guys have come to Red Zone, but you're new and need to make your own account, that is step 1 right there. And that link takes you right to the page where you need to do that, and then add all your information. Primary contact, that's the person that I will be talking to. If there's another person, that person needs to be added. The steps there to add your payment method, that is super important to go ahead and do and get out of the way. That saves, you don't think that much time, but it saves time. If you do have an existing account, if you're a leader that did this before these last few years when we did the registration through Colaqua, you can just go ahead and step down to existing account and log in. If you have trouble, there's a forgot password link, or you can call me and I can certainly help you guys get into your existing account. Again, that's if you did this with us these past few years. And then just helpful information to know once you're in your account, and then things about registration, of course, the options that they've already probably gone over with the housing limitations and so forth, refunds, the registration code, that is very important. A lot of information there under the registration code. Once you have your account set up, it is very important that you log in, you make sure you're comfortable logging in, and then contact me directly at Camp Colaqua. And I believe my contact information is somewhere. My email is, at the bottom. Okay, great. So call me or email me, and I'll be more than happy to verify your account and then send you that access code. That access code works one time and one time only. So once you input that in your account, when you go to register online, it will not let you register again. So hopefully you didn't forget to click on what housing you want. And then that deadline, you must contact me and make sure your account is set up before March 21st. That is, of course, to just give us all the time we can to help you guys prepare and answer your questions in a timely manner.
Very good. Thank you for that overview. She hit highlights. Are there any specific questions about Red Zone Camp Colaqua lodging that opens on the 28th, but you must complete your account setup by the 21st to be able to get the code, to have the code to actually register on the 28th. So there are some steps, and timing does matter. And it does talk here about meals, but we'll talk about that later. This is for any kind of housing, whether it's the chalets, the mini lodge, the woodland lodge, an RV spot, rustic cabins, all housing, all will go on sale on the 28th of March. And you have to have all your account, whether it's new or existing, reactivated, ready to go, so you can get a code. It takes time for camp to create all those codes. But those are the big highlights. And I think if you're new to housing and new to Red Zone, it's worth sharing with you that the housing, even though it's close to 800, 900 beds, the housing will disappear in seconds.
Yes.
So you can't log in at 110 and think, I'll just grab whatever's left. It will probably be gone before 105, maybe even sooner. So this is something this is the best thing we've come up with for housing as first come, first serve. But we did want to make sure that you got a chance to see Stacy, see where on the webpage the information is. There's her contact information, her phone number for the office, her email. But if anyone had a question for Stacy before she leaves us tonight, we want to open up that floor. Questions about Red Zone lodging for Stacy? As Bernie's waving his hand.
I just have one quick question. The handicap lodging. I have a family in my club that one of the children is in a wheelchair. Are we reserving the handicap accessible lodging for the handicap and then just not booking that out to just anybody, or will I be able to one of those handicap lodging for that family?
Great question. So in the registration, when you go to register, let's say you're going after one of the Woodland Lodge rooms that's a handicap accessible specifically, you guys actually don't pick the rooms or the chalets. I assign those. And so if you have that need, this helps me know that I can assign. So if by chance you get through registration and you did get that Woodland Lodge room, because you input a quantity, you don't get to choose what rooms or what Woodland Lodge. I do that to try and help clubs get those blocks once you book your quantity. So if you need that handicap accessible room, that's just a conversation we have. And then when I assign the lodging, make sure to assign you one of those rooms.
So how would a club let you know that they need handicap lodging? Through an email?
Through an email, yeah. So after you complete your registration and you did secure that type of housing, email or preferably email me so I have a paper trail.
Yeah. So would it be fair to say that there are Woodland Lodge rooms that are handicap accessible? All of them are. The rustic cabins are all handicap accessible.
So we have 3 Woodland Lodge rooms that are handicap accessible, and 1 family chalet, and 1 mini lodge. Unfortunately, the rustic cabins are not handicap accessible at all.
Got you. So let me put that in the chat. Say that again. What's available? Hang on just one second. Okay, you said 3 Woodland.
3 Woodland Lodge rooms, 1 family chalet, and 1 mini lodge.
Okay. So for those that are asking, can I get special handicap access lodging? Those are the options. So that's what you would choose. And once you're awarded that lodging, that's where you would send an email to Stacy to say, as you assign my chalet, as you assign my mini lodge, as you assign my Woodland Lodge, I do need this handicap. And that will be a first come, first serve thing. Okay.
What happens if there are more requests for handicap accessible lodging than there are handicap accessible housing?
Yeah,
I mean, that'll go back to the first come, first serve, which is good to communicate with me and email me right away. So if you, like if Pedro said, if you do get rewarded a lodging and make it through registration and need that handicap accessible unit, email me right away, because it's all about timing for this event.
What if we miss it and we're one of those who needs it and what we're assigned, there's none available to be assigned to us?
You know, we haven't run into this problem yet, thank God. I think I've only ever had 2 requests for handicap units, and we've made it work. I believe if we run out, if there are more requests than lodging, then that would be a conversation I would need to reach back out to Pedro and see what he would like me to do.
All right.
Yeah. So I think that's why we put in the chat and clarified, if you know that for your club you need handicap lodging, those are the priorities that you would need to select when you're trying to get lodging. That's something we want. So it's a good question. Thank you for it. At this point, we haven't said we're going to set aside lodging only for handicap access. So if that's a continuing growing need, then we will have to rethink that one. But for this time, it's still the lottery. And the lottery is it's first come, first serve. So if you know you need handicap lodging, look through the chat. Those are the specific things you need to look to book, and that will help you to get access. Okay, let's go over. I see 2 hands up in the meeting room, and then I see someone raising their hand. So we'll come in that order. And this is still lodging for from Camp Kalakwa while Stacy's with us. Let's go to the first hand. It says OXPOHXK.
That's Owen Powell, Pastor Pedro.
Oh, okay. I couldn't tell from that, but thank you for letting me know.
Hey, good evening. So the question is regarding the lodging. Which one of the lodging is have more cooking facilities, or the ability to cook?
The only ones that have the ability to cook are the chalets. All the other, the chalet actually has a full kitchen, like it has a little stove and a full fridge and a microwave. The mini lodges, the cabins have nothing, no kind of refrigerator, no microwave, anything like that. And then the woodland lodges have a microwave and a mini fridge. So not accessible to cook necessarily, but at least to keep some items. But just the family chalets truly have a kitchen.
So the chalet have the cooking facilities.
Yeah, and that's why the chalets are limited, one per club, because we don't want one club taking 10 chalets and then 9 other clubs have to figure out something else for cooking. Stacy, there's a question in the chat. The mini lodge room, how many rooms does it have? I said 4, and then the max for a max lodging is what, 20, 22 for a mini lodge?
22.
Okay.
22. And that's full to capacity.
Yeah, so 2 people in a double bed.
Yes.
Okay.
And using the bunk beds that are in the foyer, because there's a bunk bed in the foyer. So.
Okay, very good. And all that information, we should find a link and put that there so people can see the lodging information. I don't think that's something that we have available to them yet.
No, and I can email you that link because there's on our website, our housing page. I can email you the link to Kalakwa.
Okay, even if you could drop it in the chat, if you could. And then let me go to another question. I see ZU with the hand up.
Yes. 1 second. I just want to know if it's 1 or 2 people of the club doesn't want to be in the tent. It wants to be in housing. Do we have to go directly and register, or the director have to do that for us?
Yeah, good question. We are working through the director. So the director or club secretary, you need to let them know and ask them to try to get the lodging for you on March 28th. And they need to submit some information to get an account and be ready by March 21. So that's in the document that we just shared with you. So please talk about that with your director, because that's who we're asking to work with camp on that. Good question. Thank you. All right, let's go to Rosie.
Hi, good evening. 2 quick questions. The first one is we are checking in from Friday to Sunday or Friday to Monday? Sorry, first time Red Zone. So I don't know if it's 3 days or 4 days.
It's 2 nights. It's Friday night and Saturday night. And all of your tent camping, which is included in your registration, that's also for Friday night and Saturday night. If someone wants to stay Sunday night as a tent camper only, that's a possibility. There is an extra fee for that, but camp will let people stay Sunday night in a tent, but all lodging must be vacated Sunday morning by 11 a.m. because camp has to clean it, and camp's getting ready for summer camp staff that arrive that afternoon. So a chalet can hold up to 6 people. So that's the quantity for a chalet. A woodland lodge can hold up to 8 people. Is that right?
8 people is the max, and that's again 2 people on each bed and 2 people on the sleeper sofa. So if you only can fit 1 on the sleeper sofa, depending on the size of the person, it would be 7 because it's only a full size. So
okay,
very good.
And my second question is regarding the RVs. Is that equipped with electricity, and we take care of everything else, the dumping,
Yeah, so
whatever. Okay.
our RV sites, they are 30 amp RV sites, and they have full sewer and electrical hookup.
Okay. Thank
That's
you very much.
luxury camping right there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm so glad that Stacy came on and helped us answer some questions, and Leah's been on to help answer some questions. There is a team of people that's trying to do everything they can to help you get what you need, find the information you need. And I'm going to repeat it again. Please go to floridaconference.com/redzone. All the housing information is there. All the registration information is there. And I'll remind everyone also, for all of this, for housing, for registration, for lodging, for meals, for everything, we ask that the club director be the one, or that they assign someone as the authorized person to be their second person, but we do want to limit it all to that group of people. So very good. Any other questions before we say goodbye to Stacy? Thank you again for being with us.
Yes.
Okay, very good. So thank you again, and we'll say bye to her. You have her contact information there on the document that we shared with you from the website. Very good. Let's go back to deadlines, just to make sure everybody's tracking with that. When we did talk about Red Zone, we had some deadlines, and the deadline to make an account for housing for camp is March 21. So please take note of that. If you get your account, then you'll get a code before March 28 to get housing with Camp Kalakwa. If you don't meet the March 21 deadline, then you don't get the code, and then you don't get the eligibility to look for housing on the 28th. So please keep those deadlines in mind. The other deadline that we were looking at earlier is when we talked about Red Zone and registration. The deadline for the early bird for the $10 rate, we did look at that. That deadline is coming up on April 1. So please make sure that you keep that deadline in mind. The deadline for regular registration will close on May 6th. So please keep that in mind. And then there are deadlines of April 29, and April 29 is the last day any adults can can complete their SV background check. You start after that date, there's no guarantee that you'll get in. If you do, we'll be happy for you. If you don't, we will be sad for you. But that April 29 is the cutoff to be eligible to be cleared. So as long as you're done, all your adults are done, they did their online training, they met all their deadlines, we'll work with you. If you miss that deadline of April 29, you're kind of on your own and taking your chances for the adults. So please remind all your adults as you tell them, hey, if you want to be at Red Zone, I need you to complete this by this date. After that, I can't do anything for you. The conference, and you can blame us, the conference has said after this date, you're on your own. So please work with your parents. I know you do, and encourage them to honor that date. I just want to remind everyone again, swaps will be open for almost 2 weeks. So that's where you can switch people and go back and forth. We'll even open an online registration for 1 day for 4 hours. And that's that small window on May 13. Again, I'm referring to the document we looked at from the page online at the Red Zone website. And then the last thing, if somebody does miss everything and they show up and they still want to register, then that's where we would work with them to give them that late registration. All right. So let me go through this. I want to share one more screen with you and help you out. This is another piece of information on the Red Zone webpage. This is more details. Again, early bird, regular registration, April 29. So this is some of a review, but we also want to just remind you about the ages to attend. Everyone has to be registered. Here's the deadline for housing. The 29th, here it says lodging is for 2 nights. Prices for the different things that are there, the different booking options. The meals, it tells you the prices. If you're looking for hotels, there's a link to hotels around Camp Kalakwa. Arrival, you can come between 2 and 7 is when we'd like everybody to come. We know some travel farther away and they can't do that. If you can't be there by 7, we do encourage you to send someone to camp to set up your camp tents, if you are camping in tents beforehand, just so that when they come on Sabbath after sundown, all they have to do is move in and you're not trying to set up tents on Sabbath. So please do work hard towards that. And then check-in starts at 2. And we want you to know that on Friday, check-in will close at 11. So the gates will actually close at 11 p.m. If you know you're going to make it after 11 p.m., you will need to make some other arrangements because the gate will be closed. So please plan your travel accordingly. Camp Colaqua will be set up with lots of camping spaces. There'll be north, central, west, and south camping areas. If there's a specific club that you're trying to camp with or next to, please do email our office and we'll work with you. If you want to make Red Zone a fundraiser, there is an opportunity for you to be a food vendor. And so we encourage you to consider that. There's a small fee of $20 to be a food vendor, and it's limited to 12 people. So that's first come, first serve, and you see the deadline is May 1. Some need golf carts for medical reasons, and we will have limited carts available on a first come, first serve basis. That will be $400 for the weekend. That's to cover the cost of us renting the golf cart from the company. And all drivers have to have a valid license and be at least 21. And that payment and proof of medical need would need to be turned in by May 1. The water park is going to be available. The best rate is to get tickets by May 8 for $16. They are $20 on site. Our adventurers get to go with their families to the water park from 12:30 to 2:30 only. So if you're a Pathfinder family, you have to wait until 2:30, but then 2:30 to 5:30, it's open for all Pathfinders, all adventurers, anyone. And this is a separate ticket. This is not included in your Red Zone fee. Reminder, if you have anything with wheels, please don't bring it. The zoo will be open on Sabbath. If you try to bring a pet, please don't. We'll ask you to take it to a local kennel or back home. Vehicles, we do want to remind everyone it's only one vehicle per club parked inside your camping area. So we'll talk more about that in our next meeting. And Sunday night tent camping, we said that's available. The camp store hours are there. And this is just a reminder that everyone needs to have a ticket in YMMS to attend, and the adults, the name on the ticket must match their photo ID. And then there's the link if you need it to go do your background check and to get all that done. We do want to go over this one more detail here, and then we'll open for some more questions. But this is again highlighting the background check, and this is for registration. By Monday, May 6, 1 p.m., all adults must be eligible in Sterling, cleared in YMMS, and registered. We recommend you start this no later, or we recommend you complete this no later than May 29. If you have not started by the 29th, you reduce your chances. So again, that date of the 29th is important, and these are the steps. Complete your background online training, submit your information for the background check, and then you need to receive notification that you're eligible in Sterling. You need to share that ASV date with your director or your club secretary and make sure they enter it in YMMS. So those are important steps and details. All adults must be eligible to be a part of Red Zone and cleared. So we just want to remind you that April 29 and May 6 deadline are a big deal. A couple other things to share with you. We'll create check-in information and process and parking. That will be coming out to you. I'm still on the website, floridaconference.com/redzone. Here, the poster is up. If you want a poster and you want to see what's happening, you can go there. If you want to get a schedule, you can look at the schedule. That's going to be coming up soon. So I want to make sure that you get a chance to see that. And the PSE events, those already are up here on the website. So if you click on Pathfinder skill events, you want to know, what do I do for the knots? What do I do for the Bible book test? What do I do for all of the Red Zone PSE, the skill events? All that information is already on the website under the tab that says Pathfinder skill events. We'll list the group of honors soon. We'll list all the vendors who have become vendors. So all those things we'll be sharing with you. That will all be on the website. So please make sure that you watch for that. the Woodland Lodge, the question for pricing. I believe the price listed is for one night. I'll have to check on that.
I thought it was for both nights.
Yeah, it might be. Let me go back to that real quick. Are there other questions?
Pricing on the sheet, Pastor P, was for 2 nights. All pricing are shown for 2 nights.
Thank you for that. Okay, so then the $300 is for 2 nights for the Woodland Lodge. Is that what I'm understanding?
309.
Okay. Yep, lodging prices are for 2 nights. That's exactly what the website says. So thank you for that. Okay. Very good. Let me come back to where I can see you. Any other questions on these information? The deadlines for vendors is May 1. If you want to be a food vendor, please let us know by May 1. And also a question in the chat. This is back to Camp Kalakwa housing. A Pathfinder director can do their own account in Camp Kalakwa and book their own housing. The Pathfinder and Adventure Director can both do that. I think in the past we said one had to do it, but we are leaving space for the Pathfinder Director and for the Adventure Director to both independently create their own Camp Kalakwa accounts and book their own housing through Camp Kalakwa. So it doesn't have to be one per church. It can be one per club. So that's something to share with you. The picture of the pin and the shirt have both been released on social media. And we will get that on the website so that you can see it and know what that's all about. And the pricing for the shirt's already up. We're still negotiating the pricing for the pin, trying to get the best price we can. Once we have it, we'll post it and you can get that as well. Yeah, once we have all the final shirt and pin information, we will post that to the website. All right. So your best place for you right now to get information is the website. We hope that that's where you look for information and get all the details to help you be ready for Red Zone. All right, any final questions before we go?
Do we have youth sizes this year in t-shirts?
We do.
Yes, it's already open, and it starts with $10 for youth and it goes up to $15 for extra large. It's open and we have youth, small, medium, and large.
Yeah, so please make sure when you order, if your order says 5 youth small, you're going to get 5 youth small. If your order says 5 adult small, then you'll get 5 adult small. So please make sure you do click on the right one. That's why we've been cautious about doing it, because we did it and then it messed some people up, and then we didn't do it. Then everybody wanted the smaller shirts. So we're doing it again, but please make sure you're careful about what you order, because we will fulfill the order based on what you click on. So please watch for that. All right. Very good. So man, Red Zone will be here before you know it. May's coming. I know a lot of clubs are using Red Zone as a chance to practice their drill routine if they're going to Gillette, practice their drum routine if they're going to Gillette, practice camping if they're going to Gillette. And a lot of adventure clubs are signing up because they want the experience of camping as families. We've been doing some family camp outs and they're learning how to do camping and they're enjoying it. So we're excited for our adventure and Pathfinder families to come together and be a part of Red Zone May 24 to 26. And we're excited to have you be a part of things. We want you to have a great experience. And we know you're doing all that you can on your side. Please do pay attention to details when you're entering stuff into YMMS. It does matter. Spelling matters. Apostrophes matter. Birth dates matter. Dates matter. It has to be precise. That's how the system works. And so please watch for that. After you've done everything you can, if you need help, that's what our team is there to do, to help you see where the issues are. So those are the big things we wanted to go over with you. There is another Red Zone meeting planned, and that we did change one of the dates. Someone told us, why are you doing a Red Zone meeting on Mother's Day? And we were like, oh my goodness, we messed up. We don't want to do it on Mother's Day. So instead of May 12, we'll do it on May 13. But we've tried to plan our Red Zone meeting dates for Zoom before important deadlines. This one, the big important deadline is Kalakwa housing. So this was to go over that, help make sure you're ready, and early birds closing. Once we get to the next one, it will be hitting another set of questions and issues because we want to make sure that everybody stays together. All right, some questions from the chat. Let me just look through that real quick. Okay, I think we're good.
The
Thank
next
you.
Zoom meeting, Pastor P, will be on the 28th of April.
Yes, very good. Thank you. And that's because the deadline is May 6th, right? And the deadline is April 29 for you to get your parents, all your adults completed with their background check, right? They've submitted everything, they've done everything online, so all that's done. So please keep in mind, these are the Zoom meetings to make sure we're all on the same page and to try to help you get through the important deadlines. For PSE, if I understand it right, Leah, PSE is registered in YMMS, yes? Leah?
Hello?
Leah?
They're registered in YMMS. They
Yeah,
select them in YMMS.
all PSE events are set up to be registered in YMMS, yes. Okay,
Yeah.
very good. I'm going to stop the recording and have prayer, and then as usual, I'll hang out for a little bit if you have a question that you want to ask, and we'll talk to you.